Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers of all ages. Death does come a-riding on a midnight train, and your boy Blazing Ace Nelson is back in the saddle one more time for some more Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends character walkthroughs and breakdowns. Now, if you're wondering what's brought me out of this little hiatus that I kinda imposed on myself, well, I can't really say that I imposed this hiatus on myself so much as just life got in the way and I didn't really have the motivation to really get stuff done. Until recently. There's pretty much two things that are bringing me back into the game. For starters, the number 400. That being the number of subscribers that are now currently subscribed to my channel, youtube.com/BlazingAceNelson. So for all of you that have joined, for all of you that have subscribed to the channel to check out the reviews, check out the commentary, the gameplay footage, thank you so much for your support over the past few years. Thanks to all my friends, thanks to my family, thanks to my cohorts here at Team Hack and Slash, Desert Zoro, Dark Masamune 87, Jersey Boy, Guardian. Thanks to all my other friends out there on YouTube, Rocky Carter, freaking Black Prion, Tetsuo49. So many of y'all that trying to think of you and name you right off the top of my head is going to be a task that'll take a lot longer than this character walkthrough may take. Speaking of character walkthroughs, that's the other reason why I'm back in it. A particular user on one of my earlier videos, a guy by the name of Phasers Locked, I believe it was asking to, wanted to see about me doing some character commentary on Guan Yu. And the simple fact that, he's been playing this game for a while now, Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends, mind you. And, he saw a few differences between Guan Yu as opposed to, say, someone like Liu Bei. So I figured, you know what? This will be a good time to get back into it anyway. But enough yammering on and on and on and on about the preamble. Let's get right down to business, shall we? Now, if you're wondering why the Japanese version of Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends is up on the screen right now, I am, sadly, broke. So, I wasn't able to buy the US version yet. But, just because I don't have the US version doesn't mean I still can't rock out the information for you guys on this game. I'll just have to, put up English translations for move names and such later on. But anyway, let's get down to it. The man we're going to be covering today for this Return of the Character walkthroughs is, of course, the God of War himself. The man with the splendid beard and the blue dragon, Guan Yu. Actually, let me go back to the character select screen real quick. Because, much like with the other characters, I want to cover Guan Yu as far as a character himself before actually going into the gameplay. Now, going from, say, Dynasty Warriors 6 to even Dynasty Warriors 7 and eventually Dynasty Warriors 8. Guan Yu could be considered one of those characters that has not necessarily evolved as drastically as the likes of, say, Sun Jian, but at the same time has undergone those subtle changes to his look, but still maintains that essence of the character himself. Now, to give just a real quick rundown of the character, Guan Yu is what could basically be considered one of the three initial founders of the Shu Kingdom. When you are talking about Shu as a kingdom, as a faction, when you are talking about Liu Bei wanting to carry on the name of the Imperial Han, you can't talk about Liu Bei without talking about his sworn brothers, Zhang Fei and the big man himself, Guan Yu. Guan Yu, as depicted in the games, is a man who is all about honor, duty, and fidelity. Honor, duty, and fidelity to his brothers. And when they make that pact, I mean, they technically show it in the cutscene starting off their first chapter for Dynasty Warriors 8, which isn't in the Peach Garden. But when they first make that pact, you know, they really do what they can to hold true to it. You know, they swear, okay, do forgive me for actually pulling a quote from one of the trailers for the new Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the quote that was brought up in that is a pretty good approximation of the oath between Guan Yu, Liu Bei, and Zhang Fei. You live, you fight, you die as brothers. Brothers. What else is there? But anyway, let's go to the equipment screen real quick. Now, you'll see I've got Guan Yu at level 47, which means his entire moveset is unlocked, in addition to both of his EX attacks, which we will be covering once we actually get to the gameplay section. His EX weapon, of course, the Blue Dragon Halberd. Now, between Dynasty Warriors 7, I want to say, between Dynasty Warriors 7 and 7XL, he was one of the characters where his unique weapon was actually spun off into a moveset all on its own. Much like, say, Zhao Yun. You know, I believe it was... yeah, it was Zhao Yun, Guan Yu, and I think like one or two others that shared weapons and movesets with certain others back in Dynasty Warriors 7. But as of the XL expansion, they kept their same weapon, but the actual moveset itself had been changed up. And now, once again, with Dynasty Warriors 8 and 8XL, every single character has their own preferred weapon. Speaking of which, later on this week, 3 new weapons are going to be released as DLC. I will be picking them up, and I will, of course, be bringing you footage, first impressions, and gameplay analysis of each of the DLC weapons. So, keep on the lookout for that. Blazing Ace Nelson, Team Hack and Slash, back in the building, winning. So, I've already got his equipment set up. I've got not only a good copy of his main weapon, but also a decent cover weapon for his secondary. And you know what? Speaking of, you know, the first cutscene, let's get right down to it. Shu Story, Chapter 1. Yellow Turban Rebellion. I'll even let the cutscene play out for you guys, you know, not just to add a little bit of extra length to the video, but just to, you know, kind of bring back some of the hype and relive some of the magic that actually makes Dynasty Warriors 8 and Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends stand apart as its own unique game. I'm not even going to change the music on this one. It's beautiful enough as is. Let's get down to it, everybody. Alright. Now, Guan Yu, because of his weapon, he has incredible range on his normal attacks. The standard 6 attacks that he has for his S string, the wide sweeping slashes, great range, crowd coverage for days. The guy's like a force of nature. His jumping normal attack is pretty standard, a quick swipe. And his jumping triangle, his jumping charge attack, you know, air to ground, nice little area of effect shockwave that sends opponents flying. And of course, you know, I'm getting hit because I'm actually focusing on trying to do the walkthrough instead of focusing on playing. But let's fix that, shall we? His charge 1. Bam! Just a quick little ground pound. And just a quick little ground pound to stun the enemy and give him a little bit of breathing room. His charge 2 is a short distance launcher. Comes out fast, juggles the enemy, gives you a good opportunity to do additional damage, especially on weapons with the fire element attached to them. Now, once I get down here to the fight, I'll be able to show off his next few charge attacks. Here we go, ring attack to knock you up. Now, 1, 2, charge 3. Charge 3, a series of rotating slashes. Stuns the enemy, and of course, if you mash the triangle button, you can keep the attack going. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, you don't get to do that. Stop that. 2, 3, Guan Yu's charge 4. High-powered attack. Another wide sweeping slash, great for crowd coverage, great for clearing the area around you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guan Yu's charge 5 is kind of a windmill ending with a heavy launcher type slash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, causing a type of shockwave to actually clear out enemies around you. 3, 4, 5. Guan Yu's charge 6 is yet another heavy slash. 4, 5, 6. As you can see, Guan Yu's moveset and his attacks are focused on very simple wide-range maneuvers. So you see, as compared to someone like, say, Liu Bei, who is, you know, ruthless aggression, intimidation, Guan Yu is very simple, almost understated compared to Liu Bei. But once this guy hits the field, you are going to want to go straight for raw damage. Raw damage without overbearing force. That is Guan Yu's forte. and part of what gives him that reputation as the God of War, because he's efficient. He's efficient, he's powerful, and there goes red hair, the horse which he basically steals from Liu Bei. Yes, because he can do that. But anyway, let's go to Guan Yu's EX attacks. His EX1 is an extension off of his Charge 1. Another area of effect shockwave type maneuver. It increases his defense, increases his attack power, and grants his weapon the fire attribute. Boom! Even the ignition for that EX attack sets enemies on fire. Pretty much, if you're going for a double EX weapon build with Guan Yu, you are always going to want to start your assault with his EX1. Because that right there will give you an instant edge in any skirmish on the field. And as soon as I get to where the action is... Alright, here we go. Guan Yu's EX2. This one takes a little bit more time to set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's an extension off of his Charge 6. Now, you saw that slash that he just did, right? With the green energy trailing behind it. Let's do this again. 3, 4, 5. Not only does it have the wind element, which means that blocking it, you still incur damage. 3, 4, 5. But you'll also notice, hey, bad sorcerers, stop that. 4, 5. You'll also notice that there's actually a bit of a projectile that comes off of it, giving Guan Yu even further range than what he already has with his weapon. The extra range, the extra clearance, plus the insane amounts of damage that Guan Yu does on his own, as well as with his EX attack, with his EX1 I should say. 4, 5. You basically turn yourself into a one-man siege engine. Speaking of one-man siege engines, let's go for Muso's. Muso 1, a carryover from Dynasty Warriors 7. One quick slash, heavy damage. His mid-air Muso. Sorry, I called his Muso his EX. His mid-air Muso, new to Dynasty Warriors 8. Kind of like a powered version of his mid-air charge attack. You know, good damage. Good damage overall, much like his other attacks, but not really anything special. His R1 in circle, his critical Muso, his alternate ground Muso. Summons a whirlwind of fire for additional damage. That's another one of his holdovers from Dynasty Warriors 7. For his awakening Muso, oh, you're gonna dig this. Slashes, slashes, you know, good coverage, good range. But when you go into the second part, where he does the rotating and rising slashes, and that finisher, the amount of damage that most enemies take, and that's even unmodified. Ahem. Let me try this again. Even unmodified by his EX attack, by his EX buff, the amount of damage that enemies take from his awakening Muso it's incalculable. If you want to get rid of a group of peons fast, that's the way you want to do it. Now for his switch attack, you know, again, something simple. You know, just a simple slash, quickly switches weapons. But unfortunately, Guan Yu's weapon isn't one that has any sort of extra benefits switching to or from it. Now, speaking of switch attacks, I'm going to go ahead and set up the switch counter. Boom! Now, the thing about Guan Yu is that normally his attacks come out really slow. So you are going to want a secondary weapon which gives him that little bit of extra speed and gives you a little bit of extra leeway to set up. Oh, come on! There we go. You'll want something that will give you a little bit of extra leeway to set up the damage buffs that you will need to be effective as Guan Yu on the field. Let me go ahead and deal with this really quick. Bad sorcery. Bad. Now, the weapon that I actually chose, which keeps Guan Yu's basic specialty, because Guan Yu is one of the characters whom, when you are being attacked, if you press the jump button, he'll actually do a backstep to escape. Another weapon that has this ability is Fa Zhang's Cloth, aka the ShamWow that I mentioned back in the Dynasty Warriors 8 Xtreme Legends review. Now, if you know how Fa Zhang plays, I don't really need to do much to explain this weapon set to you. If you don't know how he plays and you want to find out, let me know if you want me to do a character breakdown for him, and I'll get right on it. But again, you're going to want weapons that cover up for the glaring weakness in Guan Yu, that being his lack of speed. But at the same time, if you give him setups that give you breathing room, if you engage in setups that give you breathing room for his damage buff and for his EX2, 5, oh no, wait, no, that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you take care of actually setting up his assault with the EX off of his charge 1, then you're pretty much in good shape. 3, 4, 5, 6. And the buff from his EX1 does last long enough for you to follow it up with his EX2 with that extra shockwave. Additional damage, additional range. Again, I cannot stress enough. If you're looking for a character that's flashy, Guan Yu is not your man. But if you're looking for a character that has a sort of understated style, but can still get in plenty of damage, and also has great crowd coverage, then you really can't go wrong with ye old God of War. Come on, let's get that number 2 built up. Not enough hits in. Crap. Let's switch to the ShamWow. Okay, let's switch back to the spear. Oh boy, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pow! You see, that Zhang Jiao was literally all the way across the arena from me, and that shockwave off of his EX2 demolished him. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the character walkthrough for Guan Yu. It's good to be back on my game. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Again, thanks for sticking with me for the past couple of years. 400 subscribers. Plenty more to come. So, until next time, you know who I am, you know what I do. And remember, work hard, keep your head in the game, and if someone gets in your way, well, you know the rest. Catch you on the next one, folks. Later.